In a poet's room where his inkstand stood on the table, the remark was once made, "It is wonderful what can be brought out of an inkstand. What will come next?" It is indeed wonderful. Yes, certainly, said the inkstand to the pen and to the other articles that stood on the table, that what I always say, come out of me. It's quite incredible, and I really don't know what is coming next when that man dip outs his pen into me. One drop out of me is enough of a half a ode of paper. And what cannot half a page contain from me? All the works of a poet are produced. All those imaginary characters whom people fancy they have know or met. All the deep feeling, the humor, and the vivid pictures of nature, I myself don't understand how it is how I am not acquainted with nature, but it is certainly in me have gone forth to reworld those wonderful descriptions of troops of charming maidens, and of brave knights on prancing steeds of the halt and the I know not what more, for I assure you I never think of these things. There you are right, said the pen, for you don't think at all. If you did, you would see that you can only provide the means. You give the fluid that I may place upon the paper what dwells in me, and what I wish to bring to light. It is the pen that writes. No man doubts that, and indeed most people understand as much about poetry as an old inkstand. You have had very little experience, replayed the inkstand. You have hardly been in service a week, and are already half worn out. Do you mean you are a poet? You are only a servant, and before you came I had may like you. Some of the goose family, and others of Ebglish manufacture. I know a quill pen as well as I know a steel one. I have had both sorts in my service, and I shall have many more when he comes. The man who performs the mechanical part and write down what he obtained from me.
So easily that it was as if anyone could do it who tried. Even the villain ab the bow appeared to perform independently of their master who guided them. It was as if soul and spirit had been braided into the jonstrument, so the audience forgot the performer and the beautiful sounds he produced. Nitsa the poet, he remembered him and named him, and wrote down his thoughts on each subject. How foolish it would be for the villain and the gans bow boast of their performance, and yet we men often commit that folly. The poet, the artist, the man of science in his laboratory, we all do it, and yet we are only the instruments which the Almighty uses. To him alone the honor is due. We have nothing of ourselves of which we should be proud. Yes, this is what the poet wrote down. He wrote the ayat in the form of a parable and called it the master and the instruments. That's what you have got, said the pen to the inkstand, when the two were alone again.